Greetings from Prague Igniter. Here bringing you the Power Platform user group session.
And today I will have a few hosts here on the stage to share with you what's alive with this community and why the Power Platform is so important for all of you. You can follow me on LinkedIn, or you can follow me on the other social media where I try to put some insights from Microsoft. And why we choose, or why I choose Power Platform. Previously I started with Dynamics, with something as a CRM or ERP, but then Microsoft introduced Power Platform. And Power Platform is going to be the core technology for the whole ecosystem of Microsoft. If you deal with the SharePoint, you have to know Power Platform. If you want to deal with the Dynamics, you have to deal with Power Platform. If you want to connect Office 365 or Microsoft 365 or Azure, you have to deal with Power Platform. So Power Platform is something that will be in the center of your focus. And it's only a technology. Technology is fine, but you have to put something on the top. So as there is that quote, one smart person once said that technology alone is not enough. And what we try to do with this community is to put something on the top. I'm here today on behalf of Czech and Slovak Power Platform user group. We are meeting every second Thursday in Microsoft premises. And hopefully next month we'll unlock the possibility to stream our user groups. So we want to unlock this possibility to other people across Czech Republic and Slovakia as well. Previously we had a different logo, but today I would like to introduce our new logo, where we added that one small part. Because as you know, Microsoft is involving the whole Power Platform and they're adding more and more technologies, so we have to follow up. If you like to follow us, go to ppug.community/join us. You'll be rerouted to meetup.com. And then you can attend our user groups. Like 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had a very nice hackathon with Microsoft and customers, where customers came with some ideas how to use the Power Platform and how to create some unique business value within their companies. The number of our members is increasing. It is just a small chart. They are not that huge as the previous group, as the Czech Pass, but it's increasing quite heavily. You can follow us on LinkedIn. It's ppug.community/li, or as well you can go to ppug.community/join us, where we host these user groups on meetup.com. There are 3 key leaders of this community, and it's Tomáš and it's Pavel. And I will have an honor to have both of them on the stage in a second. And now we'll start with Pavel. So Pavel, if you can join us, please. I'll give you the mic. Yep. You can come closer. I don't bite. Okay, can you test the mic?
Test.
Perfect.
1, 2, 3, okay.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for joining us. Paul, I have just 3 questions for you because of the time. So the first one, why did you start in the whole Power Platform user group? What was that input, I have to do that?
Okay, so I'm not just the one who started it. I had the idea to put together the people that can somehow help me with this, and this is the reason why I choose Jaro and Tomáš that will follow me to speak with Jaro. And the main reason why I started it was that I was missing such activity in Czech and Slovak Republic at all. There was not a huge support of Power Platform, nobody was speaking about this and sharing the knowledge, sharing what they reach out. even that on the global perspective, such community are growing. I want to introduce also something like this in Czech and Slovak Republic. And let's say the kick for me was on the Ignite, after the Ignite on 2018, where there was a kind of a push from Microsoft to start such groups in other countries, and there was some support of it. So I started this community to meet people who know mostly more than I, and to share this knowledge with me and together.
Mm-hmm. And you are on the customer side. As of
Yeah.
today, let's put it that way.
At least for now.
So my question is, we can see it from the different perspective. It's not from the side of Microsoft. It's not from the side of the partner. How you as a customer, or how do you see the Power Platform? Because today there are some technologies that you are using, but why Power Platform for the customers?
So why? Why the Power Platform? I saw that there are some bricks in O365 licensing that was called Power Apps and Power Automate, so I was looking for what I can use there. So that was the reason I started to go deeper to find what I can do, and I started to create my own apps. I started to automate the processes, and I found that this is very useful. And I also saw that this platform is evolving a huge, moving forward. So this is the reason why each customer that's built his processes inside whatever they have move to this kind of the thing that's bounded together, like Power Platform. Everything is here, data, there's automation, there's application, there's everything you need to touch, even in each business.
Okay. And last question: what are the common scenarios that you are able to fulfill by the Power Platform?
First of all, I would like to say that each scenario can be fulfilled with Power Platform, but the most commons are for us, especially in Albert, the travel and expenses is something that makes sense for me to build in Power Platform. Also the scenarios where you need to transfer the data from one side to another, or to put them together, or to request something from the users, some input where you can use Power Apps. When you want to automate, you can use the Power Automate right now, so there's almost anything you do in your business that can be made easier. It makes sense to start to think about the Power Platform and its usage, and also the connection to Dynamics 365 and Microsoft 365 is everything that makes sense.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Paul.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's welcome our second guest today, and that's Tomáš.
Hi.
Hi, Tomáš. So Tomáš, you are the solution architect, right? And you're on the partner side. So I believe you can compare how was the environment of ecosystem before the Power Platform and now. Power Platform is like 2-3 years in the commerce use. So can you a little bit elaborate like how it was before and after?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's like a certain point at time when it changed, because it's like constant evolution from the tools that Microsoft is having for some time now. But what really changed is the approach and maybe the marketing message that Microsoft is giving to everybody. And also, before the introduction of CDS and like Power Apps together, we weren't able to do such things as put up a demonstration in 1 or 2 days for customers to show them how the system could actually look like. So that's like the biggest difference for me, that the time to market or idea to market is like quite short, and we are able to demonstrate the end result, or how it can look like in a few hours. So that's the biggest difference, because before that the whole platform is evolving from the Dynamics side and Office 365 side. We weren't able to do that before because it took quite some time to set everything up, to set up users, to set up the whole experience, to set up tenants and trials. We had way more licensing problems in the past, so that's what really changed.
Sounds interesting. Okay, everybody's talking about the Power Platform. Microsoft is talking about that like 2 years heavily. Last year in October they said that they have 2.5 million active users of Power Platform. So, Tomáš, what's the Power Platform, please? Try to explain it simply as possible.
Yeah, so there are multiple perspectives. I'll take it from the customer side, what I tend to tell customers. Now imagine that you have your Excel spreadsheets today, and you add a PowerPoint presentation over them, and you're able to do a lot of stuff by yourself. Just prototype the scenario. So if you need to make some kind of projection, forecast, table, chart, you're used to do it in Excel spreadsheet, but now you're able to do it like in a similar way, but you can share it with others in a secure way, and you can approach it like an application, not a spreadsheet. So it's not that different if you know Microsoft Access. It's been there for quite some time. So let's say it's similar experience, but in your web browser, in a secure cloud service way.
Okay, and the last question. All of this is amazing, but is there any technical dark side of the Power Platform?
Yeah, so I think when you start digging deeper into the technology, you can still see some areas where it's not perfect today. For example, you have different designers or makers to create applications, forms, views, and legacy experience from 2011 still pops up sometimes, and it may confuse users. But this is changing. Microsoft is improving that to make the experience for citizen developers, regular people who try to do something in the platform without knowing what's in the background. They're trying to make it simpler. So yeah, that's maybe the darker side today. It's still not perfect in every way for developers and users. And the same applies to professional developers, because it's possible to do almost everything in the platform. You can make server-side, client-side extensions. You're not limited in what you can do in the platform when it comes to business-to-employee applications. But sometimes lack of documentation or something still applies today, but it's got a lot better in the past year.
So if you have that traditional developer, what change for that person, for the role?
Yeah, so I would say that it's a change of mindset for developers, because you need to stop thinking about how to do stuff. You're just telling what to do. So we call it declarative programming instead of imperative, because if you're clicking in the web designer, you're using drag and drop commands to create your screens and forms and views. It still generates code in the background, and you can still export it, work with it, refactor it, and you can still apply all the good design approaches, like separation of concerns and decomposition of the application, multi-tiered layer. Everything applies as well, but you just have to approach it differently.
Perfect, thank you so much. For the rest, if you want to know more things in deep technical, in May there will be 365 Saturday hosted in Prague. It's quite a known conference worldwide. It will be first time in Czech Republic, and it's directly sponsored by James Phillips, Senior Vice President of Microsoft Dynamics and Power Platform.
Yeah, definitely come, because it will be the technical one,
like really
deeply technical.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
I have a third guest here, Julia. She's a bit nervous. Hi. Hi. So thank you for joining us today. Yeah, let's take a selfie. Let's take a picture. Thank you. So, Julie, you are quite new to Power Platform and to these technologies. Can you shed some light, like what you studied, what you did a few months ago.
Yeah, well, actually I started as a Office 365 support and got into Power Platform quite by an accident, to be honest. I just went to Microsoft to some bootcamp and then met my colleagues from Network who invited me to PPUG meetup. And yeah, then I just became more interested in Power Platform and started to study documentation and stuff. So.
It's a nice example how people are coming from Office 365 to Power Platform. Everyone will end up in a Power Platform one day. Okay, and what's your background? Have you dealt with IT at all, or what have you been studying?
Well, I've never studied IT at all.
Mm-hmm.
I just, as I said, I became the Office 365 support because I've always been quite a bit into technology and stuff. I've always liked it. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, because for a lot of people, you know, to start to deal with Microsoft technology, they call it freaks or techies or geeks. So, you know, how tough was it for you to jump from non-technical, non-IT environment to quite a technical one?
Well, of course, the Power Platform quite attracts like tech enthusiasts and tech freaks, but I don't think it's for them like just for them. Maybe if you're a business person who is just interested in making their working processes or business processes more efficient, I would totally recommend you to try Power Platform as well, because it offers like many options for you how to deal with such stuff and save your money, save your time and everything.
And how to start? You know, a lot of people are asking me, you know, how can I start with a Power Platform, because it's a bunch of technologies, a bunch of applications. So, how to start? How did you start?
Well, I think I should mention the official documentation, but you know it's quite a boring way to start. I think that the community here is very helpful because you can just join us on the Power Platform user group meetup, and you can learn the basics much easier if you can share and discuss all the information with others. So I would definitely recommend to, you know, try all the meetups, try some forums, try blogs, just see some videos and webinars.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you, Julie. And my last guest, Stepan, you can come on stage. So up until now, we've been talking mostly about the Power Apps, Power Automate and other components, but now one specialty, and that's Power BI, right?
Yeah.
Hi, welcome. Thank you for joining us. So I was reading a few blog posts that you have again. So.
It's very nice for me.
So you have your blog posts, and when I was checking them, you know, there are a lot of articles which are like unique. I cannot find a similar one on the blogs of other MVPs. So how did you find them, or how did you discover those things?
Mostly I start in this impulse comes from a customer or something very interesting which I found on the internet. Then I go to try it inside the Power BI. If I found it like, hey, there's no easy way how to produce it, I try to write another MVPs like Red Heavens, and I try to discuss with them about the problematics. Mostly then I go inside of Power BI and trying many different ways how to get the result. Especially when I was trying to test the table to buffer, which is function inside the M language. And if you would go to Microsoft documentation, you will find there only a small article about it, but never you will find the real answers, what is doing it behind. So I'm testing it with DAX query and also with mQuery, and then trying to find out what's there really behind it. Many times this is helping me the Resurrect. I think you will know him, or the blog of this. And as I said, mostly it's about the testing.
If you want to know more about Power BI and about articles that Stepan is writing, definitely go to this website because they're really interesting blog posts. Okay, my second question is, when I'm talking to other people about Power BI, everybody said, yeah, those charts, there is nothing. So can you easily explain what's Power BI about? Like really? Please go from the top to the bottom.
Okay, if I will start with the top, yeah, Power BI could be similar as a PowerPoint for data. Yeah, it could be. But also you can connect to many different data sources. You can provide there many transformation, mostly more complicated transformation than you can provide inside the Excel. And also you can there schedule the refresh of the data. So it's not just about presenting the data, it's also about transformation, about aggregating them. I would say Power BI is a one platform to full communication of the data.
Okay. Okay, my last question would be, if I want to start tomorrow to be Power BI Master Blaster specialist, what should I do?
Before you start, I would like to ask you, have you ever worked inside Excel with Power Query or not?
Honestly, no.
Okay, then I would recommend you to start with Power Query. Okay. Definitely, because it's a heart behind it. Every data, if you want to get them inside the Power BI, have to go through Power Query. So I would say it's a first step into. Then I would recommend you to find everything what you can about the text language. And then it's just about the visualization. How you want to your customers accept the data and how to understand it. So I would say if you would like to start with Power BI, the long way is before you. But I think everyone can do it. Because Power BI helps you with a very simple UI and also with a very supportive community.
Perfect, thank you.
No, you're welcome.
Okay, so that was a few questions for our guests today. Again, just to repeat, every second Thursday, Microsoft Premises. Every second Thursday, Microsoft Premises, go to ppug.community/join us. You can apply for the calendar updates there. And we have, let's call it, it's like a raffle. So if you take a picture here on Ignite and you put two hashtags there, MS Ignite Tour and CZPPUG, we'll create a video and we'll choose I think five or six winners, and you can win a certification voucher. So the normal or standard price for the certification voucher is about 100 euros. You can have it for free. It's I think 800 certification, so you need to know at least something about it. But still, I think it's a quite nice price. So that's everything from our side. If you have any questions, we are on the other side of the building, like 1 kilometer that way, in a community hub. So you can discuss with us, and we will be happy to see you next time on our PPUG. Tomáš, want to say something?
Since I think that we have some time left, right?
2 minutes.
2 minutes, really?
20 minutes.
So nobody asked you a question, so...
Oh. Okay.
I would like to conclude it with your perception, because Jaro is talking to customers and stakeholders quite often, and I'm often amazed how we can introduce the platform to everybody, show people that it really matters and it's a difference. So what's your approach when you try to explain to people like the new trend and what it means to them?
Well, it depends to whom I'm talking to. Sometimes I start with a scary slide like Microsoft was showing. Everything changed, you have to learn everything is new. If I talk to IT people or more technical people, I'm trying to understand that their life can be easier and they have to transform. That IT is not about how to block everything in a company so nobody can work with Teams, Dynamics, Excel, whatever, but how to allow everything and to do some compliance and security on the top. If I'm talking to business people, I will just repeat Microsoft. The company should not wait until it's approached by the customer, but they should be proactive. I'm always telling one example. There is one retailer with that annoying green thing. I was calling their help desk because I had some issue with the payments. So yes, I was waiting 15 minutes in a queue, but then the lady said like, hey, Mr. Spooner, I can see that you tried to do the payment. We have an issue with the payment gateway. I just moved your invoice due date and I sent it to your email. Is there anything else? I was like, no. So that's what I expect from the company. That's why I'm trying to help the company, because I'm annoyed how annoying the companies can be. And I think that these technologies can help them.
And maybe my last question to the audience: how often do you see or experience that you're not able to get these tools through IT, like security, cloud,
I will change the question. Who likes their IT? Come on.
Yeah, so who's experienced troubles with pushing those new apps in cloud through their IT or IT of customers? Oh, that's not that bad. So I see it every now and then, and when we dig deeper into the discussion, they often discover things like data loss protection policies and stuff, and everything is there. So if you ever experience troubles with that, I think that the discussion and you can even invite them to our user group to ask themselves, to ask on their own how it's with the security, because I see that this is like the only blocker which really prevents organization to adopt it in scale. And I think it's not relevant, or this fear is relevant, but the platform can handle it and can handle everything in a secure way. So feel free to invite everybody to our Power Platform to ask questions, even the technical ones.
You have some stickers, right?
Yeah. So if you want stickers to our laptops and stuff, you can find them over there, and feel free to take one.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining us. As I said before, we are in the community hub the whole day, and tomorrow you can find us. And let's talk and let's share the knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you.